Good morning. The headlines this morning. Stakeholders call for collective action on realization of Sustainable Development Goals 2030 on potable water in Southeast. As Anambra State Executive Council approves construction of Eziago-Munze Bypass Road. Armed Forces of Nigeria to re-strategize its operations against extremists as Ecuador is to elect president tomorrow amid bloody gang war. Hello, beautiful morning to you and welcome to Breakfast News on ABS Television. I am David Okwakwasale. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. The National Water Resources Capacity Building Network Southeast Center has organized its second Southeast Regional Water Conference with a call for collective effort towards ensuring the realization of Sustainable Development Goals 2030 on universal access to clean water and sanitation in Southeast. The event, which is ongoing at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, with the theme towards effective watch governance in Nigeria, attracted the participants from across Southeast states who will, throughout the conference, which ended on the 13th of this month, deliberated on how to provide potable water, clean and sustainable water for all the zones in the state. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
In a remark, the Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, represented by Commissioner for Utility and Water Resources, Engineer Julius Chukwuemeka, while describing water as indispensable in human life, harped on the need for private and public sectors partnership, reviving and sustaining water scheme across Southeast, noting that government alone cannot actualize the target, even as he cautioned people of Southeast against open defecation. The governor disclosed that the state government has developed a model in community wash, which is to be tested with Neni community in an Ocha local government area and will be replicated in other parts of the state and then may be emulated by other states in Southeast.
Resuscitation is the solution. If we resuscitate the existing schemes we have across Southeast, I believe our needs, if not 100% tackled, will be above 80% tackled.
Speaking, the Director General, National Water Resources Institute, Kaduna Adanu, represented by Dr. Omobemi Yaya, said that wash governance is imperative for effective development and management of water resources and water service delivery at different levels of the society, as according to him, water is the engine that drives both economy and society. The Vice Chancellor of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Professor Charles Esimone, highlighted that the conference is aimed at identifying ways to ensure that people enjoy quality water in Southeast and Nigeria in general, and encouraged the participants to, at the end of the event, come up with measures to ensure availability of quality water across the zone.
Right now, I've done the water mapping. I've done the mapping of the water bodies in this environment, this university. We know all the water bodies that are here, we know their flow rate, we know the quantity, how they pack. We have that data, which I shared with one of our collaborators and made in Belgium recently. So I thank you again, and I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
Earlier in an address, the coordinator, Water Resources Capacity Building Network, Southeast Center, Dr. Ma Ezenwaji, explained that the National Water Resources Capacity Building Network Centers were established by the federal government in each geopolitical region of Nigeria, and other capacity building effort towards closing the poor capacity gap of most operators in the sector to perform optimally, disclosing that the Southeast Center, through the encouragement of Unizik VC, has made the Senate to approve some academic programs, including master's degrees in integrated water resources management, among others.
The Center, through the encouragement of the Vice Chancellor, has made the Senate to approve MSc in integrated water resources management being hosted by the Department of Geology. This one has started. On this, may I thank the governors of Southeast States
for their visible commitment in improving the low rating of the sector in our region. The NWRCB Southeast is ever committed to contributing this quota through capacity building efforts.
On their parts, the governor of Enugu State, Mr. Peter Mba, represented by Mrs. Chinonye Nabuchi, the managing director, Anambra Urban Water Asset, Mr. Iko Biejiofo, said that the theme of the event is timely and identified poor management as the bedrock of the water sector in Southeast geopolitical zone, calling on relevant authorities to make laws that will help in the management of water sector in the zone and entire Nigeria. The event featured presentation of certificates to graduates of the short courses of the center, awards presentation to Anambra, Enugu, and Ebonyi State governors on their efforts in water sector, as well as award presentation to some illustrious sons of Anambra State, including Engineer Paul Enidom and Mr. Tochukwu Obiechina, for their effective partnership with the government in community development. From Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
Keeping faith with the commitment of the Governor Chukwuma Soludo-led administration to revamp Anambra State as a livable and prosperous megacity with the best road network, the Anambra State Executive Council has approved the release of this sum of 2,096,502,135 naira and 61 kobo for the construction of the Eziago-Munze bypass road in favor of Breco Construction Company Limited. A release signed by the Commissioner for Information Support also said that work will be completed within a period of 8 months from the date of payment of 20% mobilization fee. The special advisor to Governor Chukwuma Soludo, Air Vice Marshal Ben Chiobe retired, has commissioned the Mechie Security Base Umueri, where notable Umueri stakeholders, military, police, vigilante operatives were in attendance. Queen Anibogo filed the report.
In his remarks, Air Vice Marshal Chiobe noted that the project is in line with Governor Soludo's security initiative, adding that with security posts providing shelter for security operatives, insecurity in the area will be drastically reduced. He commended the Transition Committee Chairman of Anambra East for the initiative and the sole sponsor and President General of Umueri General Assembly, Chief John Mechie, and called for more of such community-driven developmental projects across communities in Anambra State.
We'll expect that they should have shelter over their head. The government did not put a penny here. It is entirely a sole effort, which goes to show that people in communities such as you have here now are very much in support of the governor's initiative.
The PG, Chief Mechie, in his comments, explained that he built the security base to tackle insecurity in the area, saying that with that, Ndi Umueri can now go about their daily businesses without fear and as well sleep with their 2 eyes closed.
So now can rest assured they can sleep, they can go about and do their business, they can go to school, they will not be afraid of at night sleeping anymore. I'm encouraging the members of the society that has the capacity to empower the youth. Job creation, education. The youth, like you said, are very vital in our society. We need to create jobs for them.
Some of the stakeholders who spoke during the event were Senator Ima Anosike, the National Youth President of Umueri Community, Honorable Charles Chika, and Chief Celestine Tabo, who all lauded the security base as a critical project for the well-being of the people of the community and prayed God to reward the PG for his visionary leadership. The climax of the event was cutting off the tape by Air Vice Marshal Chiobe, while Reverend Father John Manafa prayed and dedicated the building. In a similar development, the President General of Umueri General Assembly, Chief John Mechie, has donated school bags, books, and monetary gifts to pupils and teachers of Madonna Primary School, Umueri. The President General, flanked by the Umueri youth leader, Mr. Charles Chika, and other officials, presented the items to the pupils and teachers at the school's premises. In his remark, Chief Mechie explained that the donations are his own way of giving back to the society and assisting parents in reducing the burden of catering for the school needs of their children in this harsh economic period. He promised to look into other needs of the school, including the hostel accommodation of the secondary school, as requested by the manager of the school, Reverend Father Badehus Ikechukwu. In their separate remarks, the manager of the school, Reverend Father Ikechukwu, and head teacher, Mrs. Gloria Okoli, expressed their heartfelt gratitude to the PG for the materials, as well as the monetary gift to each of the 11 teachers in the school. The pupils, overjoyed, expressed their appreciation to the PG and prayed God to continue to bless him. Highlight was presentation of the items to the pupils.
Thank you. Let me have another gift.
Queen Anibogo, reporting for ABS News.
Youths have been trained and empowered with skill acquisition equipment to become self-reliant and employers of labor. The training, which was powered by AIDS for Women, Adolescents and Children International Organization, AWASHIO, in partnership with Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, took place at Ebe Umuez Hall in Wukwininjikoka local government area. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzo-Koye has the details.
Trainees received training in bakery and confectionaries, decorations, sewing, GSM repairs, makeups, hair tie, and many others. Were trained for 6 weeks so as to be conversant with what they were taught for. AWASIO is a non-profit, private, non-governmental, international organization with sole aim of advancing the hope of women, adolescents, youths, and children to better livelihood through educational activities, empowerment, and capacity building programs, good economic sustaining opportunities, disease prevention workshop, and more. While introducing the program, the Chief Executive Officer, AWASIO, Dr. Claudia Okeke, said they engaged in 8 projects and programs that are beneficial to women, adolescents, and children, stating that they targeted 80 people in Anambra Central District, but end up with 50 of them, which they strongly believe will train others because they were exposed to the nitty-gritty of what they learned. Dr. Okeke disclosed that they have visited many areas in the country with the good news of AWASIO that they decided to come to Anambra so that people of this region will benefit, stating that they will be glad seeing the trainees training others and contribute to the development and progress of their communities. The CBN representative, Mr. Godfrey Ntaji, expressed confidence that the skill acquisition program will contribute meaningfully towards the improvement of lives and economic advancement of the people of Anambra Central District. He noted that CBN is a responsible institution that desires to impact positively on its operational environment and the country at large through its corporate social responsibility initiative.
Acquisition program will contribute meaningfully towards the improvement of lives and economic advancement for the people of Anambra Central in Anambra State. Why do we have the confidence? Because AWASIO have done it before.
In a goodwill message, the managing director, Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS Oka, Sachido Obidegu, who spoke through the acting director, News and Current Affairs Department of the ABS, Mrs. Judy Jeff Nwabeze, said the program is in line with what the present administration is clamoring for on Think Home philosophy, getting the youths out of the street to be meaningful to themselves as the future lies in their hands, even as he commended Dr. Okeke for her efforts through AWASIO, stating that indeed they are providing a livable and prosperous environment, thereby reducing social vices in the society.
Getting the youth, it's not really easy, but when you get the youth, the future of every nation or every state lies in the strength of the youth, I must say.
Contributing, Mrs. Choma Ezechukwu of the State Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget maintained that the empowerment will alleviate poverty, staring people at the face, and promote human capital production of the present administration. In a remark, the chairman of Umuezu Village, Enugu, Mr. Fabian Abago, noted that God, through AWASIO, has answered their prayers as they have been calling on government to extend such gesture to the young youths who are through with their education, can learn skills while while waiting for white-collar job. Presentation of certificates and equipments to the trainees by Awasio and CBN added glamour to the program. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
Part of efforts to promote reading and learning among the youth, especially those in the rural areas, Omo and Omona have distributed exercise books to schools in the community. The women from the 8 villages that make up the community were excited to see the pupils who came to embrace them with cheers and jubilation for adding to their future. Again, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye brings us more.
The schools that benefited were St. Maria Gorati Catholic Primary and Nursery School, Umuona, St. Joseph High School, Umuona, and Further Hope Nursery and Primary School, Umuona. And the exercise aimed at inculcating the habit of reading and writing in the lives of the students. Distributing the exercise books to the students, the president of Umuada Umuona, Mrs. Bridget Ume, said they embark on the journey to add to the free education given to the school children by Governor Chukwuma Soludo to ensure all are back to school, which is the bedrock of the society. Mrs. Ume noted that the economic situation facing the country has led many out of school due to lack of finance and materials, noting that with the governor's free education policy and provision of books, it will go a long way to ease the pains of the parents and give way to reducing out of school children, and call on the students to bend down and study, for education is the basics of all. The President General of the community, Chief Kenneth Okoli, said the mission embarked upon by the women is in line with the present administration gesture in paving off school fees to ensure no one is left out in terms of education, which will bring about better future for all, calling on parents to ensure all their words go to school as well as to back it up with morals and discipline.
My encouragement is that they will bring out time for their children and make sure they send their children to this type of school where they have moral and everything, so that their children will be well bred and
Two other executives of the women, Mrs. Obioma Nkwocha and Mrs. Benedeth Onyeko Zulu, extolled Governor Chukwuma Soludo for what he is doing in education sector, more especially in offsetting school fees and donation to mission schools in the state, noting that they donated the exercise books to ease the burden of parents. While expressing his happiness over the bold step taken, the parish priest, St. Maria Gorati Catholic Church, Umuona, Reverend Father Anthony Ezoke, commended the women, describing their mission as important and apt, which needs to be emulated by other affluents in the society so as to bring education to the doorsteps of all. Contributing, the headmistress of Maria Gorati School, Mrs. Nneka Ugumba, and Mr. Norbert Anyaboro of St. Joseph High School, on behalf of the beneficiaries, thank Umuada Umuona for their gesture, describing it as first of its kind.
N'ọmụ akwụkwọ wee na-ekene ọnụ etu unu si wee cheta anyị n'ụbọchị taa unu agbanika a sị nka Chukwu pụrụ ime ihe niile gọzie unu nyeghachi unu ihe niile unu ji wee bịa ebe a mmaji kwuru mmaji n'aha Jesus Christ bụ onye nwe anyị.
Distribution of the exercise books to the students by Umuada Umuona climaxed the event. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
Nigeria says it will constantly re-strategize and modify its operations to overcome the changes in tactics of extremists operating across the country. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, who stated this at Abuja while giving insights into military operations, noted that the ongoing counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations are designed to ensure that uncertainty is replaced with certainty. Our Abuja Bureau Chief, Ekwiyajide, brings us the details.
He stated that the military will continue to invade and dismantle every safe haven for criminals spread across various theaters, ranging from the Turbans in the northeast to other locations such as national parks, game reserves, and forests across the country. According to him, the military has identified several of these safe havens, and operations are targeted towards ensuring that they are completely dismantled, saying that the operations in the last 1 week resulted in 50 neutralized terrorists, while 114 of them were arrested. Major General Buba disclosed that troops also arrested 19 perpetrators of oil theft and rescued 49 kidnapped hostages. He affirmed that in the South-South region, troops denied oil thieves the estimated sum of 968,160,050 naira and recovered 65 assorted weapons and 400 assorted ammunition. The DMO promised that the military will continue to fine-tune its operations to ensure maximum protection of citizens and restore security across the country, and encouraged the citizenry to always assist troops' operations by giving relevant information.
Is to ensure that these safe havens are completely destroyed within the shores of our country, and the military will continue to fine-tune its operations to ensure maximum protection of citizens and restore security across the country. One thing I know is that we are getting it right, and it's for that reason that we continue to encourage citizens that know something to say something, so that we can do something about it. Together, we will win this fight.
In Abuja, Princess Ikwi Ajide reporting.
Shocked by the eruption of a bloody drug war that has split from the country's prisons into the streets, Ecuadorians will still go out tomorrow to vote for a new president, just weeks after a popular candidate was assassinated in public. A climate of fear hangs over the campaign in which the two finalists, socialist Luisa Gonzalez and Banana Empire heir Daniel Noboa, have both vowed to address the escalating violence. Whoever wins will be elected to only 16 months in office, completing the term of incumbent Guillermo Lasso, who called for a snap vote to avoid a possible impeachment for alleged embezzlement. The main concerns for Ecuadorians, according to recent polls, are crime and insecurity, followed by unemployment. The fighting has seen 460 inmates massacred in prison since February 2022, many beheaded or burned alive, while gangs have dangled headless corpses from city bridges and detonated car bombs outside police stations in a show of force. Nigeria will begin their quest for a fourth Cup of Nations title in 2024 against tournament host Ivory Coast, alongside Equatorial Guinea and Bissau, according to reports. The drop, which was conducted at a colorful ceremony inside the brand new Parc des Explosions in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, on Thursday, was hosted by global music star Akon. A heavyweight quartet of Africa's biggest current and former football superstars, Didier Drogba, Mikel Obi, Sadio Mane, and Achraf Hakimi, supported the Confederation of Africa Football as draw assistants during the pairing. The Super Eagles were seeded in Pot 2 following their drop in the FIFA rankings released in September. By their seeding, the three-time African champions knew they faced the task of coming up against one of the top selected teams on the continent. While they avoided the confrontation against the North African sides, Jose Pereira's men were, however, handed a tricky start to their campaign victory with the game against the Elephants. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Television Oka. You can follow us on X at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Before we go, here are the main points again. We told you that stakeholders have called for collective action on realization of SDGs 2030 on potable water in Southeast. We also told you that the Anambra State Executive Council has approved construction of Eziago-Munze Bypass Road as Armed Forces of Nigeria assures it will re-strategize its operations against extremists. We also told you that Ecuador is to elect president tomorrow amid bloody gang war. To end the news, remember that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's continue to give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's the news this morning. Thanks for joining us. I am David Okpokwasele.